All right, this clip is going to be about advanced editing features in iMovie, primarily looking across this suite of tools right here. So the trick is you have to select a clip down below. I'm going to select this one right here. And we know it's selected because it's got that yellow frame around it. So notice once that's selected, all of these tools become available to me. So the first set of tools are what I'm calling clip adjustments. So you can do a one-click enhancement if you want, and that will, in that sense, it will kind of try to play with the color so you can see if it's clear enough for you. It just brightened up the color a little bit, does some color balance. I can also do that manually. If I open this up, and I can either match color, and it's going to ask me which color do I want to match. And then if I want to get out of there, I can do white balance, skin tone balance. I can then roll over here, and I can actually, by these sliders, I can manually do a color adjustment on all three of these here, and you can kind of notice the change. So you can do some artistic stuff, or maybe if your original video is lower quality, you can raise that quality a little bit. This next tool can be really great, which is your crop tool. Right now, my clips are set to fit. I can crop to fill. Ken Burns is if you have the individual image and you want it to kind of float like Ken Burns' documentaries, you can do that. But if I want to go crop, maybe there's something in this clip, maybe I don't want these backpacks right here or something like that. I can simply start moving that. Anything inside this box is what this clip is going to end up being in terms of a shape. So I've got that. And then I also can do stabilization. So notice that change. So now I'm just in that one section. Stabilization is you can, if your video comes in originally as really shaky, you can basically click stabilize and it will roll through that clip and try to work out some of the natural kinks in your actual filming. The next set are clip audio adjustments. So I go in here. We kind of played around with the master audio earlier. This allows me to play around with smaller pieces. I can you can, as you can see here, lower volume of other clips. So if I just select that, I can lower volume of the other clips, and I can use a slider to talk about how much I want to do that. I can also play around with the master volume in that one clip right here with a certain percentage. Same thing I was able to do by moving that up and down earlier. If I go to my next tool, this is the equalizer, so I can play around a little bit. This is when maybe you get some really bad background noise, maybe wind or something of that nature, and you want to try to reduce that background noise. And notice you can also just kind of blankly do that, reduce it by a certain amount. And then also I like to play around with the equalizer and try to adjust these until I get the best sound that I possibly can. This next one here is clip speed. So if I want to notice my speed here is normal, I can slow it down, I can speed it up, I can even throw a freeze frame on there, which I'll show you in just a second, and then I can customize it. So if I hit customized, it allows me to set how fast I want this clip to be. So let's say I want it to be fast, and it offers me, I'm going to say 8 times faster. I can throw it in reverse, hello. And I can also preserve the pitch. You know how when you speed up film, it kind of sounds like the Chipmunks? If I preserve the pitch, it does a better job of hanging on to the original audio. Once I've done all that, all I have to do is click out of that, and it sets it, everything that I've wanted to do there. If I go back, I'm going to show you guys freeze frame here. Right, so the best way to do freeze frame is to grab that clip, get the playhead exactly where you want it. We'll get this guy jumping up and down. All right, so let's say I want it right there. I'm going to click so that it freezes on that. Even though I move it, you can see still right here that it's on. So I'm going to go up here, hit my speed, normal, go freeze frame. It's going to insert it right where I left that playhead. And if I want to adjust it for 3 seconds or longer, I certainly can. And then watch. If you watch this play, everything's moving at normal speed. And then freeze. Oh, yeah. And then it keeps going. Perfect. Okay. Next pieces to this is if I click off of that, you can even notice it's freeze framed right where that darker blue is right there. So the next piece would be to select this. We grab this clip again, and I can go up, and this is filters. So this is where you can do color and audio effects. So my clip filter is for colors, and you can instantly see there are a lot of options. As you scroll over them, you can see in your play window that things are definitely easy to kind of preview. You know, you can make it look X-rayed. And then for my audio effect, you can choose the different audio effects if you want to give the voice or voices in the clip a different feel. That would be, you know, something maybe where you are trying to create different characters with the same person, or you want to give that person a very different feel, either change their pitch, do something totally different like an echo, a phone, things like that. Great to add. If your kids are making movies, they will love it, believe me. The last thing we have then are some pretty great screen additions. I'm going to go back to my media. With the My Media, my clips that I have access to are right here, the ones that I've pulled in. So if I want to do something like a picture-in-picture or something like that, I can take this clip, for instance, and drag it right on top of this clip. And it's going to give me a whole new tool, this tool right here. This tool is already open. It's giving me a cutaway, so if I want to cut from this bottom clip up to this one for as long as it's running and then back down to this one. This is where you could do your green screen. You could do a split screen or a picture-in-picture. So if I do picture-in-picture, notice the clip on the top becomes this picture right here. I can adjust the size. I can move it around. And maybe I want to put it right down here, make it a little bit smaller. And so when I go to play this, it's going to roll forward where I've set that. It's going to go picture-in-picture. So notice I've got both pictures playing. That was my freeze frame right there. And then it fades out of the picture-in-picture. To do something like a split screen, we've got that side by side. So it's going to go here, split screen, and then as soon as that clip is over, it'll go back to the single screen. And I'll show you guys, if I click on this again, I'll show you green screen separately because I need a special clip for that. And then cutaway is simply, as it plays, it'll cut to that other clip for the duration of that clip, and then it will go back into the original clip that's on the bottom. So those are really your advanced editing features. Lots going on here, lots to be creative with, both for you and for your students. You can also see that you can play with the opacity on this, or opacity, however you say that, on this one right here. And that will change what that top clip looks like. You can add a fade where maybe it's going to fade in and out for that many seconds. So lots of ways to really customize this and make it look really professional.